Okay, Zorawar, thank you very much. You're going to talk about AI in a youth perspective. Thank you. Please introduce yourself too.
Hello, my name is Zorawar. Now we'll be talking about what it means to grow up with AI. My uncle thinks I waste all my time on TikTok, but he's completely wrong. I play video games instead. But they have one thing in common. They are both made possible by artificial intelligence. AI is an easy tool to use in the everyday life of a young person, particularly when you don't feel like putting in the hard work. For today's generation of teenagers, artificial intelligence is not a futuristic concept. It's a present reality. Unlike previous generations, we watched AI evolve from the sidelines. We are growing up inside it. From the way we learn and communicate to how we think and make decisions, AI is quietly transforming our daily lives. While this technology offers significant benefits, it also raises important challenges that young people must learn to navigate. The last paragraph I just read was written by AI. I asked AI to write an essay for me for today, but I felt I was cheating. And I also thought some of you who are experts in AI might see through this paragraph because it's too concise and doesn't seem to be written by someone my age. This is one of the dilemmas of living with AI. It is too easy to become reliant on it to appear smart, but it does not make one intelligent. And I have been honest here because I can see that AI can write an intelligent essay for me. But if I were to face a challenging situation without the help of AI, I would be exposed. Hence, I am conscious that I must develop my own skills and abilities independently. Now let me read you another opening paragraph written by AI. When I was younger, I thought artificial intelligence was something from sci-fi movies, robots, flying cars, and machines that could think like humans. Now, at 16, I realize I've been growing up with AI all along. It's not a futuristic idea anymore. It's a quiet part of everyday life, built into apps I use, the music I listen to, the way I learn, and even how I think. This AI paragraph is different from the earlier paragraph also written by AI. It gives a different context to the same question asked 5 minutes apart. What this means is that AI is not consistent, does not understand my pattern of thinking, and has not asked me what I want to say. If I was to ask one of you to help me write an essay, you would ask me what I want to say. But if I just request that you write an essay for me that I want to use in a competition, for example, you would likely not ask me what I want to say, and that would be cheating. It would not improve my skills. I think that many people in my generation are conscious of this. The tendency to be lazy and cheat is understood and avoided by many. It takes a certain degree of integrity and self-restraint when the easy option is there. However, I do use AI in place of search engines, such as Google, for a more efficient use of time and tailored results. I don't believe this is cheating. I believe this is using AI as a tool in a smart way, rather than depending on it. For example, I will use AI to help me with a homework question that I do not understand.
Have you got anything on your slide?
No.
No.
But not to complete it for me. AI can also be used to assist in education. For example, when I don't understand a concept taught at school, I can ask AI to clarify. AI can also be a useful advisor. For example, I described to AI what I was looking for in a career, and it suggested a list of possible career pathways I could go down. Nevertheless, I don't completely rely on AI for major decisions such as this, and it's still important to take advice from friends and family. Many people in my generation are also conscious that platforms such as TikTok are making money out of us by using AI algorithms to show me videos that I think I will like. While this results in social media platforms potentially being addictive, if treated as entertainment, for example to pass time, then it is not vastly different from other forms of well-established entertainment, such as watching films or listening to music. After all, film producers make films that they think the audience will like and spend money on, which is not so different than the rules of AI-driven social media. I assume some people in previous generations became addicted to films and music. The only difference today is that addiction is better understood, so it is inevitably more noticed. I can assure you that most young people take a responsible approach to entertainment, just like members of previous generations did. AI can be very helpful, both in education and entertainment. Although it is true that bad things can come out of AI, such as overdependence and addiction, AI is just a tool. It is not AI itself which is a problem, but rather how it is used. Thank you.
So how many of the professors here do you think used AI to help write their talk and didn't disclose it and did not disclose it?
Nobody's going to admit, but at least he's admitted and he's been honest.
It's
And
good.
said, I asked AI, and this is what it gave me. 5 minutes later, it gave me a different thing, but I'm not going to use it because you might see through me.
Yes, I know it isn't.
So, this is but I think a lot of university students use AI, write their essays.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of professors do too, and
Professors,
teachers,
okay.
teachers too.
Yeah.
And
Actually, for me, it's so interesting to hear your perspective as well, right? Because for me, it raises a bit of question now that I'm curious about. And that is more a research thing on the long run, right? But as you're saying, your generation is conscious of those things, right? So that you actually can use it, but it's a tool, you need to think critical and so on and so forth, right? But I also see in many discussions that I'm having with people who try to find an internship or people who try to enter a job. So I would say age group 18 to 22, 25, that there's more this perception of I don't want to disclose it, I use it, it's the best thing to use, etc., etc. But it feels like you are more conscious than them of the risks. And for me, it's a question. Is there a generation, or is this maybe also has something to do with education in a country itself, right? How conscious people are of this, we need to think critical. Or is there a generation that is in between at the moment, that is not that digital native, right? That has the bigger blind spot, and the new generations that are coming after have more of this consciousness. I don't know, but it's super interesting.
I think I want to add to that because that's the problem because I think we can all see there's a rise of the changing narrative, rise of like fake news, misinformation, false information. And I think we have been emphasizing that before you share, we need to start applying our critical thinking skills. Just because we see something online doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Like you very smartly, just because an AI suggested something, this particular text or word doesn't mean it's the best. If it is something that doesn't reflect your belief, we will probably not use it. But that is what we're saying. AI is just a tool that can help if we use it as a tool and not let it control our lives, our mind, and how we think. And I think that is one of the things we're trying to teach the generation, that use your critical thinking skills, because everything is automated. We are not using our minds like we used to anymore. But maybe it's saving us time in terms of research, but then again, at the end of the day, you have to read what the research or the AI tool suggested to see whether it is what you are looking for, whether it is connecting. And that's what most people are not doing, and that is why we see this kind of problem, because we're not using our critical skills at all. Is this just you who uses this, or like it's very common here? I like it.
Yes,
Exactly what I want to know, because this has been a problem.
Exactly. Is Generation Alpha more conscious than Generation Z? More or less.
I think Generation Z is less conscientious because they're ready for job market. They want to hit job market that, like the next 2 years, for example. Generation Alpha is living the reality. The Generation Z has lived without AI. So for them, this is a convenience tool. Quick. And then, like last speaker yesterday, is almost a 10-year gap between the age group. And you can see the two different perspectives. This generation, as you said, you are living reality, living with AI. You have not seen anything before that. You are living the reality of AI with. And last speaker yesterday, an age group of 25, has a very different perspective of you. So I think this is very interesting that 10 years gap, age gap, has the consciousness of how to use AI is surprisingly, and it's surprising and fascinating that where the reality is going to hit there.
Okay, what do you think about?
Well, I think many people in my generation are conscious of this, but that doesn't mean everyone is, and it's still important to like make more people aware of the risks of AI and the limitations of AI.
So
Do you discuss this with your friends then? Or is this more something that is common sense?
I didn't really discuss it with my friends. I feel like it can be common sense, but it also depends on how you use AI, like how you view it.
I have to say, I'm his uncle. His father's there, and I used to have a go at him. Always spending time on. I used to blame it. Spending time on TikTok. You're going to grow up dumb. You're going to fail your exams. And then we did some revision for his exams. I was surprised how much he knew. A lot more. The exams are more difficult than when I was at his age, and he's passed with good marks. So it came as a surprise, surprise to me that is saying that his generation is growing responsibly, and whereas I think perhaps, as he said, about people who are 25, 26, the whole AI thing is new to them. It's like when alcohol is new to you get alcoholics, but now generations are very careful about alcohol, smoking, things like that. Yeah, it's a refreshing thing.
What to eat. I mean, I don't think the previous generations didn't care. And also because we thought that previous generations, the foods were all organic and the healthy foods. They were not that mixed up, but now they are. Before it was not, because people didn't have to worry before. But I'm so happy to see that the youth of today are using their critical analytical skills, because that has been a risk identified, that the chances of AI doing more bad than good, because they are going to be controlling our lives rather than the other way around. But okay, they're in safe hands, probably. And
You give us hope.
yes, seriously, it is really very delightful and good feeling to see that AI will not take over everything.
But I think it's also up to us to listen to this generation because they know better.
Yeah.
In some things they might know better than us.
So I think we do it at home though. Like if anything happens with our gadgets, I'm not worried. I'm like giving it to my son or a kid. Like, set up this Apple, set up this phone. Okay, can you integrate these 3 million iPhones? We don't know all this. Like I'm still struggling with my mom how to find out whether she has any missed calls. She will not know. But thank you so much for this. And I think the more we talk about it, the more we will learn. And we also need to give the youth a platform and a voice. That.
Chamu and then Osama.
So what are your challenges in using AI? Do you get frustrated? Do you get happy? So
Things you
do
can't
you want to
do.
find something out and you can't, or how does it, how's your interaction with it?
I think it's can be very useful. Like as I said, I can use AI instead of like Google, because like this is more tailored results to your specific question, rather than Google where you have to search through a bunch of different websites to find what you're looking for. So that makes it a lot quicker, a lot more efficient. I think that can apply to a lot of things to do with AI.
When have you been frustrated by AI?
The AI isn't perfect, so it can make mistakes, which can be quite frustrating.
And you have spotted many mistakes?
Yeah, I spotted a few mistakes.
Hmm.
So, like, while it is useful, you have to be like slightly careful while using it. So you can't just like trust everything it says.
Osama?
Yeah. Thank you, that was really great and sharp, concise and short. During lockdown, we all saw how the adoption of digital technology just took off like crazy, yeah. And I know it actually influenced me in many ways. And a lot of the young people I talk to, they say it changed their daily routines, even perception of reality. And I'm wondering if that also was your case. Has it changed your habits, your daily habits, and especially habits that sometimes may conflict with the habits of the elderly in your family, and your friends? So did it affect you personally through that way, through the lived experience? In other words,
Yes, I think that there's definitely a lot of reliance on technology. And for younger generations like me, that's more normal. But maybe for like older generations, that could have been like strange because they grew up without technology. So they can have like different views on it.
thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. It's interesting. And then for uncle and dad who may worry that you play games, in school, when the lecture was boring, I would sit in the back of the room and play games by pen and paper with my friends, interactive games, because the lecture was boring, and then occasionally the teacher would be upset. But since we did good marks, it was okay. So that's fine. I think it's interesting. If you had a very difficult issue to talk to your uncle or your dad or your mum about, but you couldn't get the advice from your friend, would you ask AI? How should I talk to my mum to explain I did this?
No, I wouldn't do that.
You want to do that? So just for like schoolwork or academic questions or questions in your mind, but not for personal relations.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's interesting
In
to
Saudi, little girls now are actually doing this. One of my friends just told me.
Couples are doing it.
Oh,
I mean, to resolve their fights.
there you go. Every time, like, she asks them to go and spend the night with her girlfriends, and he says no, she goes to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
How do I persuade my dad to let me go and spend the night with the girls? And ChatGPT says, well, speak to him nicely.
or maybe buy him a new toy, like a new computer game, and then he will say, "You go away because I want to play with it." Give you new tricks, but no, I'm pleased. Yeah, keep on relying on your own charm. It's better. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What I would like to do is, and thank you for the people on Zoom. I'm going to stop recording.